everyone, welcome back to our class. In the previous learning unit, we talk about how to write an introduction. Of course, the most important thing in an essay are the body paragraphs. So today we're going to talk about how to write a body paragraph. I hope you're all ready. Before we proceed, let's look at the objective of today's lesson. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to produce a body paragraph using the right structure. Okay, let's proceed. So this is the basic structure of a body paragraph in an academic writing. First, you start with a topic sentence, which is the main idea of the paragraph. Second, you elaborate it. And then you provide example to enhance the reader's understanding of your elaboration. And next, or lastly, you write your mini conclusion, which wraps your whole paragraph. This is not to be confused with your real conclusion. This is just your mini conclusion, which is the conclusion of the body paragraph. Let's proceed. Okay, first of all, let's look at the topic sentence. The sentence that tells the reader what is your main idea. Okay, the thesis statement presents the idea of the paragraph, and then it must be written in clear and specific language, and it must support the thesis statement. If you still remember, thesis statement is a statement in your introduction that tells the readers what to expect in your paragraphs. So let's learn this through a few examples. Here, if you still remember, in the last learning unit, we talked about this paragraph, this question, I'm sorry. I disagree with the view that students should spend less time listening to music because music helps to relieve stress, stimulate the mind, and enhance learning. So that is the thesis statement. Now let's look at the first body paragraph, the one highlighted in yellow. Firstly, music distracts the mind from the stress of studying. As you can see, the the topic sentence supports the thesis statement. Okay, so but you cannot copy and paste it. You should rephrase it. It should still retain the meaning, but it should be written in a different way. All right, next, let's move on to the elaboration techniques. So after you have written your topic sentence, you must write your body paragraph, your elaboration. So there are four techniques of elaborating. First is reformulation, second is comparison, third is process, and lastly, reason. Let's look at it one by one. All right, reformulation technique. It is simply restating the point in clearer words. So let's look at this body paragraph. Let's look at the one highlighted in yellow. One reason why people get involved in crimes is greed. Okay, so this paragraph is talking about the reason why people commit crime, and the author argues that it is because of greed. So let's look at the second sentence, the elaboration, which is highlighted in green. Human beings are never satisfied with what they have and seems to want more. This is basically just greed, the explanation of greed, the restatement of the topic sentence, but it's mentioned in clearer words. Greed is people not being satisfied with what they have and they want more. Okay, so that is the first technique of uh, uh, elaborating, where you rephrase the topic sentence. You mention it in clearer words. Okay, moving on to the next technique. Two, the comparison. So as the name suggests, you compare the situation. Okay, let's look at this example. Look at the topic sentence. We cannot deny that ICT has brought a lot of positive developments in today's world. Okay, with a click of a mouse, we all can obtain a voluminous amount of information on the internet. Okay, now let's move on to the next sentence. We need not spend hours browsing pages of books or poring over a heavy encyclopedia just to learn more about a field of interest. As you can see here, the author is comparing two situations, pre-internet and post-internet. So this can be a good elaborating technique, okay, where you compare different situations. Let's look at the third technique, process, where you describe the process. Okay, now let's look at this example. Living in nursing homes helps develop the social lives of the elderly. It provides opportunities for the elderly to meet and interact with peers who are more likely to understand each other. Okay, that's the elaboration. The one highlighted in green is the elaboration. As you can see here, the author is telling the process of how the elderly can develop their social lives, right? So that is a good elaboration technique that you can use in your own body paragraph. Let's move on to the next one. Reason. As the name suggests, you provide the reason for your argument. Okay, let's look at the example. Firstly, the internet plays an important role in the world of communication. And then you provide the reason. Why do you say that the internet plays an important role in the world of communication? This is because it offers easy and inexpensive ways to communicate. Besides that, the internet not only saves time but also serves as a cheaper, quicker, and more efficient method of transferring information. So all of these, the ones highlighted in green, are the reason why internet plays an important role in today's communication. Okay, I hope that you remember these four techniques of elaboration: formulation, comparison, process, and reason. Let's move on to the next part, which is the example. All right, so of course you just provide an example, but not just that, you have to explain the example. Look at this example. Sorry, look at this paragraph. For instance, some people are not happy to live a comfortable life. You cannot just leave it like that. You also have to explain. So what happened when people are not happy when to live a comfortable life? So look at the one highlighted in yellow. Those are the explanation of how those are the explanation of what happened if people are not happy to live a comfortable life. They'll resort to crimes like stealing, forgery, and embezzlement. Okay, so please make sure your examples are clear by explaining it. Let's look at more paragraphs. Okay, here you can also explain your example by giving the effects or consequences of the example that you have given. All right, the one highlighted in yellow is the example. The corporate world too has resorted to the use of ICT, such as using conferencing to negotiate business deals and transactions. Okay, and the one highlighted in green are the effects of the examples that you have provided, which is cooperation are no longer constrained by physical meetings. Discussion and decision making have been made faster without the hassle of traveling. So these are the effects or the consequences of the examples you have given, which is video conferencing. Lastly, to end your paragraph, you need to have a mini conclusion. Mini conclusion are just the effect or the benefit of the point that you have mentioned. Look here look at this paragraph given here. So this paragraph talks about how technology has brought so many benefits in our world. And look at the last sentence highlighted in green. Thanks to the internet, people are more knowledgeable about what is going on around them and thus better informed about the world. So this is the benefit of everything that you have mentioned in this paragraph. Yeah, let's look at another example. So remember, this one is the example about greed. The reason why people commit crime is greed. So let's look at the last sentence, the one highlighted in green. When human nature is overcome by desire and the need for self-gratification, the individual's negative side emerges. Okay, so as you can see, the author is giving you the effect of greed. What happens when people are greedy? So their negative side emerges. Okay, so before we end our class, let's recap on what we have learned today. So first, you have to have your topic sentence, which explains the main point of the paragraph. Secondly, you have to elaborate. So remember the four elaboration technique: reformulation, comparison, process, and reason. Next, you have to provide your example, and not just your example, you have to elaborate your example. You have to explain your example. And lastly, your mini conclusion. Your mini conclusion should be the effect or the benefit of the point that you have mentioned in the paragraph. So I hope that today's class will help you to write a good body paragraph, which you can try later after this. See you in our third learning unit. Bye everyone. Thanks for your attention.